At 122 to 116, your final score. You can't call it a balanced scoring effort because you had career highs for both Kawhi Leonard and Pascal Siakam with 45 and 28 respectively. Coach, what was working so well offensively, primarily in that second half, which is not exactly what we saw in the first?
Well, Nick Nurse had NBATV on in the halftime.
He heard you.
And he said, take the damn ball to the basket, Kawhi, and just run everybody over. And then he went and he said, let's go.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. Yeah, so pretty much that's what happened. No, Kawhi just put his head down and went to work on guys. I mean, he's clever around the basket, and he just bully balled them, and they had no one that could guard him. I mean, he just kind of went to work, and he had a career night, 44 points, and just was able to operate in close the whole time. So, again, an impressive night by Kawhi. And I never once saw the guy rush. He took one kind of funky, leaning shot late in that game. Other than that, every shot he took was just calm, plays under, just plays at the speed he wants to play. He's getting ready for Pops. He's just warming up for San Antonio and going back home. So we'll see what happens.
He finished with 45. His previous career high was 41. Get this, though. DeMar DeRozan has the franchise record in scoring in a single game. He had 52, and it was last year on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
Well, it just goes to show you when you're in Toronto New Year's Eve and you're the visiting team.
You may go out. Yeah, there
That's
you go.
actually funny.
Yeah.
You wake up rested.
Hey, yeah, chances are the opposing team didn't get a lot of sleep the night before.
That's a good point by you. I had not thought of it that way. Kawhi, though, more of a low-key guy.
Yeah, but when you think about Kawhi and you think about the scoring binge that he just went on, the thing that jumps out to me right now is that there are not a lot of defenders in the league that can guard mid-range players.
Yeah.
There's the 3-point line that everybody got a pretty good idea how to defend, and then there's layups.
Hey, you're not trained to anymore.
Yeah. But when you're talking about, the mid-range, you got to get down, you got to slide your feet, you got to cut people off, and you got to stay in front of them. When guys like Kawhi right now are playing in the mid-range, you see they're being given a lot of space, so consequently you can take good shots. And when you're driving a basketball, that defender always opens up the gate left or right, which allows you to drive the basketball. So there are not a lot of good mid-range defenders in the game right now, so mid-range players are feasting on the lack of mid-range defense that's in the league right now.
He was 16 of 19 from two-point range on his way to a career-high 45. Let's hear what Kawhi had to say after the game.
Kawhi, congratulations, career-high 45 points. As a competitor, how much did you appreciate that it came in a game where you needed all of those as well as Utah continued to battle there in the second half?
They're a well-coached team. They got great guys on their team that compete every possession. So we just try to stay in it until the end of the game. You see there, we have to get some stops on the defensive end and come back and try to execute on the offense. But it was a great win for us tonight.
First half, you guys went to the free throw line only 5 times, 30-plus in the second half. How much was it simply just staying aggressive and forcing the officials to make the call and staying within what you were doing?
We felt we were getting hit a lot in that first half, but like you said, we just have to stay aggressive in the second half and be strong with the basketball and know that they're going to go in and they're going to call it.
As I mentioned, the career-high 45, it's a nice little appetizer for Thursday. Are you looking forward on a personal, let alone professional level, going back to San Antonio for that game on Thursday?
Well, yeah, it's going to be fun. Everybody's anticipating the game, and, things like that only can just get me better for the long run. So it's going to be a good game.
Congratulations.
Of course it's going to be fun. He's a fun guy.
Yeah.
You know that.
He's a competitor. He's looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
And anytime you get traded or you feel like you left some unsettled or unfinished business at the next place, you always look forward to going back and finishing that. And I'm sure he's looking forward to going back to San Antonio, seeing some old friends, but also competing against his old teammates.
It was a career-high 45 for Kawhi, but also a career high for Pascal Siakam with 28 points. What stood out to you about not just this performance, but the way that he's consistently improved this season?
Well, his ability to shoot the ball now, especially that corner three, he's knocking that thing down. He's always been a good defender, gets out in the wing. He runs as hard as anybody in the wings. But you're only going to get so much with all of that. You've got to add something. He added that three-pointer. He doesn't shoot a lot of the top of the key three-pointers, but he shoots a lot of the corner threes. And I tell you what, he's knocking that down. So he's becoming a really an interesting player because he's a good defender, long, can rebound, really active in the break where they're running and he's getting downhill on you. But now he's being able to make that three-pointer in the corner. Boy, I tell you, he's becoming turning himself into a heck of a player. And I love to see players come in this league and improve. I love to see guys come in and say, okay, I'm not really good at this. I'm going to add this to my game. And he's added that corner three to his game. So again, I'm happy for the kid, and I really like his defense. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Pascal, we've got him.
Oh.
He just sat down. And you and I, Pascal, sat down just a couple of weeks ago. It what, right? Yeah, it was just a few weeks ago, and we talked about perhaps the most improved player award being a motivator, an all-star appearance being a motivator. I want to talk about some of your highlights on your career high night, but I don't think that anything is going to top the little dance that you did before the game. That might be the highlight of the entire evening. Kind of feeling yourself these days, huh?
Hey, New Year, we got to start a new year right.
Oh, you're strutting out there. Okay. All right, Pascal. All right.
Well, you certainly started it off right. How about this, though, Pascal? This is your 10th game this season with at least 20 points. You only had one such game in your first 2 years in the NBA. What is it that is about? Sorry, we're still watching the dance, and I love it. What is it, though, about your game that you feel has improved most?
I think, just my ball handling, being able to have the ball in my hands more and make plays for others. It gave me opportunities to drive lanes and find my teammates. I think it kind of opened up the game for me a little bit.
When you talk about your offense and driving the basketball, talk a little bit about how much, maybe Kawhi has helped you by being there, your relationship with Serge, the defensive prowess that the three of you have out on the floor. Defensively, it looks like you three can shut down any opponent anytime you want to. How does that feel out on the floor, being able to shut down opponents defensively, but yet also being able to turn it on offensively?
I think we pride ourselves on defense. That's the type of team we are, and obviously having Kawhi, who's a great defensive player, a guy that you can learn from every day. His hands and the way he uses his length. I try to just learn from him, watch him a little bit, and then obviously Serge protecting the rim for us is big. And for me, it's just continue to work on defense because I know that's what got me here, and I know I'm going to keep just playing hard, trying to get stops, and everything else is going to come.
Pascal, just. I watch you guys play. It seems like you got a little more spacing, a little more pace. Is your offensive sets a little different under Nick Nurse? And how does it fit you, the offense that Toronto's running now?
It's great for me. I like to run, and as soon as we get the ball, we're running. And we have a lot of shooters on the team. Guys, it opens up the floor for guys like me, Kawhi, driving. So it's great. I like the pace. I like what Nick Nurse is doing.
I got a question for you, and it's kind of off the beaten path here. Serge has this cooking show. I put your head up now.
There we go.
And I just want to know, have you been over to the house to be served a meal?
Unfortunately, I was there one time.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. He's not really good at cooking, but I think he's funny though. He's funny, so it makes up for it.
Wait, how can he not be good at cooking and he's got a cooking show?
It's just a cooking show, not a good cooking show, right?
Yeah. He just got about 3 ingredients. It's always salt and pepper. The only thing he put in all the food, so it's definitely tough to eat.
Well, we're not mad at him. Personality saves most of our jobs as well. But Pascal, I've got to ask you before we go, because it's January now, because you have considered yourself an underrated player in the NBA, because February is next month. How big a motivator is perhaps an all-star appearance?
I think obviously for me, a kid coming from Cameroon, started basketball when he was 16 years old, having a chance to even, like just my name being out there is a blessing. And for me, I'm not really worried about that. I just want to continue to get better. I know, the sky's the limit for me, and I just want to continue to work hard. And whatever happens, happens.
Well, we'll worry about it for you, and we'll tell the fans to vote for you as well. I mean, come on, you got the opportunity right now. Pascal, thanks for joining us, and congrats on such a big night.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Zeke, you asked him how it felt with him, Serge, Kawhi, not just offensively what they've been able to accomplish this season, but defensively, knowing that they can shut down other teams for stretches of 4 and 5 minutes, which is what you need ultimately to win games. What did you see from their defense that allowed them to put this one away? Well,
just their length, and as he talked about being able to use their hands, being able to use their length in the passing lane. And when you look at what they're able to do, your defense is only as good as you're able to help, as we see the help here, and recover. And when we watch Toronto play, they have great help and recover defense, but they also have good ball pressure. And when they turn the ball over, they run the passing lanes, they get out quick, and they're able to finish at the rim. Again, they force it down, we got the help, and then we got 3 people in the lane, you got the recover, and now you're out in transition. Weak side defense, penetration, you got help, we got recover under the basket, we got block out, now we're in transition. And that's the thing to me that's most important about this Toronto defense and these Toronto players. Again, weak side defense is always able to help, but they're quick enough and they're long enough to get back and recover. So when your defense is moving like that on the string in terms of help and recover, you're very difficult to score against.
Well, I can tell you the Milwaukee Bucks are not going to give up the top spot in the Eastern Conference, at least willingly, and they are putting it on the Pistons. I'm sorry, Zeke. I didn't want to bring it up.
I'm sorry, too.
There's still a chance.
Come on, that score is
There's
not right.
no chance. Let me tell you right now.
Come on, that score is
Shut
not
your
right.
TV off if you're in Milwaukee. That game's over.
That score is not right.
Call the dog.